Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. One thing you'll notice here is from about mid to late October here, we've mostly been in a trading range market. We've had that big move up, we've had a move back down, another move up, and another move down. Got very close to the recent lows here, but this is about where we've traded here over the last 2+ months. Overall, we're in a clear down move here, a very clear impulsive sell-off over the last 3 days, a little bit of a bounce back day today. The one thing to watch out for today is morning strength in a downtrend can be seen as a selling opportunity by bears dominating the current trend for a shot at late day weakness. So if there's a failure to hold the day's midpoint, right now the midpoint is 45.86 on a developing basis. The failure to hold that will begin to open up some downside selling pressure here ahead. At the moment, we could be looking at mostly range bound action. If we can maintain these gains, then a push into the end of the year higher into the top of this range could be in play. So right now, watching how this behaves within this trading range. If we take a look at the NQ also trading within a very similar trading range. So you can see here's your lows, there's your highs, somewhere in there, and ever since we broke through that zone late October here, we've been inside the range. Recently we did take out the low here, so price did take out the low of the month and bounced in the previous session. Additionally, price pushed back above the previous week's low. Price sat below there and developed a very narrow range throughout the entire day yesterday, now pushing back above that zone. And if we can begin to see price push back above the previous week's close, about 1585 rather, that 15,835, that could provide a nice push to the upside. That's the level to watch here. If we can see some strength through there, it would really open up further strength up toward about 16.1 to 16.050. So that's the level to watch here early on, keeping an eye on that 15,835 or so. Above that zone starts to squeeze. But in a downward trending market, as we've sold off here again, this early strength, if we start to lose altitude, if we start to break back below, for example, the 15,700 level, that's going to be indicative of more weakness to come. All right, let's take a look now at crude oil. One thing about crude here, we got a very strong low in the previous session. Major selling pressure came into play. One thing we had here was marked as a 9-day trading range. So bringing this ADR up to 9 days here, you'll see a nice compression of that 9-day range. Yesterday, a major breakdown, and one of the things we mentioned was it's very bearish right now, but if we close the day back above the midpoint of the day at some point late in the session, that could throw off a nice tail, a nice wick, a buy signal. It could be a higher low to complement this strong low, and that, whenever you have a narrow range and break down and fail, the tendency is to whip around and break to the upside. So from this low, which just call it 66 there, we could be looking at about a 10 handle rally from that low. That would put us at about 76 here. So if price can pull back and hold as deep as, say, 68, which is also your composite VWAP there, that zone on a daily closing basis, if it can hold that zone, it opens up a return as high as 76 up above. But we're looking for anywhere between 8 and 10 handles, so somewhere between 74 and 76 could be an easy target to the upside if price can continue to stay bid at the 68s. Failure to hold 68 on a daily closing basis, whether it's today or tomorrow, would suggest a major failure and a continuation ahead. So keeping an eye here on 68s, want to stay above that, and we're looking for a checkmark trend day to the upside. Alright, lastly, taking a look at gold futures. Gold futures right now inside of a range of a big time move here. This one also had a strong low recently here, 1753's big time turnaround. You can see right here a narrow range as well that developed here over the last 10 plus days. It broke down first, failed, and then it slingshot the other way and rallied through the top of the range. That's exactly the idea here with crude oil. You have this range, crude oil is broken down, you got your buy signal, we're looking for it to whip around and break to the upside towards 76s. That's what this did. Got to move back toward 1815s, 1816s here, and it's pulled back a little bit. Right now we're kind of in the range, but it's very clear we're putting in some very strong pivots here, and we're compressing. At some point here we may see major expansion to begin the new year. Until then, we could be inside the range and quiet until expansion is ready to be seen. Alright, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.